Hi guys, welcome to this video and welcome back to my kitchen. So a couple weeks ago I got the most intense craving for a fat sandwich, and for those of you who don't know what a fat sandwich is, it's basically this like sub roll that is stuffed with like every delicious fried item you can think of. So it comes with like chicken fingers, mozzarella sticks, cheese steak, cheeseburgers, onion rings, and like there's so many options. It's basically like the most unhealthy meal you could eat. It probably has more calories in one sub than you should eat like in your entire day, but we're not gonna think about that today. I recently started working out, so this is gonna be like a treat to myself. So the fat sandwich originated at the grease trucks at Rutgers, New Brunswick. That's where I graduated college, and so I've got my Rutgers t-shirt on today. I think this is like the only Rutgers shirt that I ever bought, because once you become a student there, they give them away so often. Like I have a drawer full of Rutgers t-shirts that were just given to me for free. It's been a while since I've had a fat sandwich, so I had to go online and research which one was the one that I used to really love, and it turns out I'm super basic. I like the most popular one, which is called the Fat Barrel. It's got chicken fingers, mozzarella sticks, marinara sauce, french fries, all stuffed into a sub roll. And it looks like now they have up to 39 fat sandwich options and even a couple vegetarian options, which is pretty cool. So since I can't go to Rutgers and get my own fat sandwich because of food allergies, I decided to just make my own at home, and that's what this video is gonna be about. For this sandwich, I'm going to need a sub roll, I'm going to need chicken fingers, mozzarella sticks, french fries, and marinara. I decided to just buy frozen french fries and buy a jar of marinara because those things are like typically allergy friendly already, and I really didn't want to spend all day cooking, like making fresh marinara and cutting up potatoes. So I'm only gonna make the roll, the chicken fingers, and the mozzarella sticks in this video, and then I'll assemble everything together. I'm gonna start with what I think is gonna be the hardest piece, which is the sub roll. I've never made any bread ever, so if it comes out horrible, I'm just gonna go to the store and buy a roll and then come back and assemble everything. All right, the first thing it says to do is combine the yeast with some warm water, and it gives like a specific temperature. It says 110 degrees. So I'm going to fill this bowl with hot water and then put the little thermometer in and just see when it gets to 110. All right, so I used a tea kettle to heat up the water, and so I'm going to measure a 1/4 cup and see when it hits 110. Oh wow, it's at 110 right now. So, all right, here's the yeast. While the yeast dissolves, combine the flour, sugar, xanthan gum, and put it in a small bowl. Small bowl, flour, 2 3/4 cups. So this recipe says that it makes dinner rolls. I hope that that will still taste good on a sandwich, but I couldn't find a recipe for like a gluten-free sub roll, so we're gonna just make do. 2 tablespoons of sugar. First time that I've used xanthan gum for anything, and it was super expensive. This little bag was like, I think $10, but you kind of need it when you're making anything gluten-free, otherwise it just breaks apart too easily. I should really invest in like a quality whisk, because I just have this like plastic thing. Yeah, it's pretty garbage. I think I got it at the dollar store. So I should probably get a new one at some point. All right, it says to add the flour and the yeast mixture together. So I'm gonna pour this in here. No! So the milk also has to be 110 degrees, so I think I'm gonna have to microwave it. I decided to use almond milk for this, just like the unsweetened, like not vanilla or anything like that. We'll see what that comes out to. In the meantime, I can add the egg. It's at 100. I don't know, I'll heat it up more. I don't wanna mess this up. So for the butter in this recipe, I'm just gonna use this Earth Balance vegan butter as a substitute for the regular stuff. All right, the milk hit 110, so I'm gonna pour that in. And now I have to melt 2 tablespoons of butter. Alrighty, the butter's melted, that's going in. Now it says to just mix on medium speed for 3 minutes. Get down! Get down! You're so bad! So bad! This is still looking super dry. Why is it not becoming thick? So I am an idiot that doesn't follow instructions, like always. It said to add a cup of milk, not a quarter cup, so I need to add another 3/4 cup of hot milk. All right, we're at 110, so I'm gonna pour this in now. What the heck is this? I think that that's good. So the next step is basically scooping it out onto this pan that's covered in parchment paper. The problem is this recipe wanted like little like soft dinner rolls that are maybe this big, but I'm trying to make it into like a long sub roll. So I hope that it turns out all right. Oh. Okay, I don't know how this is gonna work. Maybe I could just use my fingers to form them. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do this because like the heat from your hands does something to the bread, but I don't know what else to do. That looks disgusting. Alright, this one's gonna be super tiny. Oh wait, it says the rolls are gonna double in size. Should I have made these smaller? Oh, crap. Alright, it's fine. We'll just have extra large rolls. It says you can use cold water to use your fingers to like smooth out the tops. Anyone who actually knows how to make bread is probably cringing right now at how unknowledgeable I am. So the next step it says is to use plastic wrap to cover them, and you're also supposed to grease the plastic wrap. So I guess I'll just spray that with like olive oil. Alright, so now it says wait until they're almost double in size, and that's when you're going to preheat the oven. So I'm just going to keep an eye on these and wait for them to rise. So I went back and I read the instructions again, and it turns out the rolls are going to take like up to an hour to double in size. So instead of waiting around for that to happen, I'm going to start making the chicken and let the rolls do their thing. Alright, so I have my chicken tenders here on a piece of plastic, and this isn't in the recipe, but I've just found that it comes out better. I am going to use the meat mallet and kind of tenderize these. So I've got my breading station set up. The first bowl is going to be a 1/4 cup of flour. All right, the oven is preheated. I've never added added water to the egg batter before, so I don't really know the purpose of that, but that's what the recipe said to do. So, all right, the last bowl, it says to do 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. So I got this gluten-free breadcrumbs. It also says to add like Parmesan cheese, but I don't have any of that. I couldn't find a good substitute for that, so I might just have to add more breadcrumbs. All right, so I'm gonna start. We're gonna do flour, then egg, then breadcrumbs, then put it on the pan. I'm sure everybody knows this, but I didn't learn till recently that it's best to keep like one hand that's working with the dry ingredients and one hand that works with the wet ingredients so you don't end up with like super cakey fingers. I don't own a fryer, so that's why I opted for recipes where I could bake everything. But I feel like that's also gonna be like a slightly bit healthier. I'm gonna try to like tally up all the calories at the end based on what I used and just calculate how it compares to a regular like grease truck fat sandwich. Because I'm making this dairy free, I feel like it wouldn't be that difficult to make this vegan. All you'd have to do is obviously not use chicken. You could use like a tofu or soy or something, and then just swap out the egg batter. All right, this is how they look. I put them on a baking pan with some foil and I greased it. So it says to put this in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes and I'm supposed to flip it halfway through. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I pulled the chicken out of the oven, I put it on a plate, and this is what it looks like. I think it looks pretty good. So I removed the plastic from the rolls and this is what they look like. I really don't think they've doubled that much in size. I'll have to look back at the footage. If anything, they grew like a little bit in height, but it's been over an hour, so it said in the recipe not to let it sit for too long. So I'm just gonna put these in. While the bread is baking, I figured I could start working on the mozzarella sticks. The recipe has a lot of steps, so I'm gonna have to be careful to follow the instructions. But I bought this Miyoko's, I think is how you pronounce it, vegan mozzarella. I've never tried this before, mostly because it's incredibly expensive. This one thing was like $9 and you could get like a plate of mozzarella sticks for less than that if you go eat out. But I'm excited to see if it works. It might be like a once a year treat. Okay, the instructions say the first thing to do is preheat the oven, but it's already preheated because I'm cooking bread. So the next step is going to be to cut this into strips. All right, so it says to take a really sharp knife, cut it in half, and then start making 1/2-inch strips. Okay, so when I was reading the recipe, I was really confused because it said to cut the cheese long ways, but it didn't describe in the instructions or like the earlier portion what long ways was. But since it said 1/2-inch strips, I'm thinking that I should also cut these into smaller strips. It said that the recipe yields 12 mozzarella sticks. If I cut these in half, I'm gonna have more than 12. Yeah, I feel like it'd be better to have smaller ones. Okay, so while I'm preparing the batter, it says to put these in the fridge. I don't have an 1/8 measure for the black pepper, so I'm just gonna do 1/4 teaspoon. That looks about half. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the mozzarella. So I'm going to use a fork to pick up the mozzarella and put it in the wet batter. It said do not pierce it, just drop it in. Submerge it completely, shake off any excess, then drop it in the flour. And then I'm going to put it, pick up the stick using the wet forks and dunk it back in the batter. Drop the stick into the breadcrumbs mixture. Okay. So now it says I'm supposed to pick this up with the wet fork and dunk it back into the batter, but that doesn't really make any sense because wouldn't the wet stuff just get into the flour? I think I'm just gonna drop it in with this because the fork isn't gonna touch the batter. Oh jeez. Oh god. The roll on the right was ready to just go off into the ground. This is how we look right now. Not terrible. I'm wondering if I should put it in for a little longer though. And then I'm supposed to like brush butter over the top, but I don't have a brush. Yeah, I really don't have anything I could use to butter these rolls, so maybe I should just use a spoon and like drizzle it on. All right, so I finished spreading all the mozzarella sticks. That whole process took so long. My overhead camera died too, so I'll insert photos of what they look like right now. But basically, since I'm not frying them, the recipe says to put them in the freezer for 30 minutes to 1 hour, and then I'm going to bake them. So these are gonna go in the freezer now, and I'll be back. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes since I put the mozzarella sticks in the freezer. It said to leave it in for 30 minutes to an hour. I think I'm gonna do 45 minutes. For the French fries, I got these from Trader Joe's, so these are going in for 14 minutes. 14 minutes at 425, so I'm gonna bake these, and then when those are done, I'm gonna pull the mozzarella sticks out, put them in the oven, and then I should be ready to assemble everything. This is taking so long. Whenever I'm editing, I'll insert how long it's been, but yeah, this has been the longest meal that I've ever prepared. All right, French fries are done. This is what they look like. The easiest part was making these because it was straight from a bag. So I've lowered the oven temperature to 375, so I'm gonna pull out the mozzarella sticks and then we're gonna pop those in. So this is what they look like. We have some mozzarella sticks and some mozzarella nuggets. Oh geez, they're like frozen to the plate. Ugh. Okay, so this now bakes for 10 minutes, it says. I don't know how the frozen mozzarella on the inside is gonna cook with just 10 minutes, but we'll see. All right, I think I can start to assemble things now. Like I mentioned, I just bought the sauce. I actually had 4 jars of sauce on accident. It's like one of those things that I think I'm out of, and then I end up, you know, with 4 jars and like 1 package of pasta. So I'm gonna use this. I don't think it needs to be heated up. I think it'll be okay at room temperature. I wrapped the rolls so that way they could stay a little bit fresh. I didn't want them to dry out on the counter. I'm not sure what I did wrong in the bread making process to make them so dense, because this weighs, it's gotta weigh like 2 pounds. It's very, very dense. It's not like a light fluffy sub roll. Yeah, I don't know where I went wrong. So I put the chicken tenders in the fridge so that way they wouldn't be out on the counter for too long. So I think I'm just gonna take maybe 1 or 2, throw them in the oven so they can start to warm up. 1 chicken tender is pretty much the size of a sandwich. but I mean, it's supposed to be a fat sandwich, so I should probably put 2 in. I feel like I'm gonna need like a power tool to slice through this roll. All right, I'm gonna try to slice this roll with a bread knife. It is super, super dense. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm gonna start and put some marinara on both sides of the bread. I tried to find online like the order in which I should layer these. I think it's supposed to go chicken tenders, mozzarella sticks, then french fries. So I gotta wait for the mozzarella sticks and the chicken tenders to be done cooking, and then I'll put the rest together. Okay, the mozzarella sticks are done cooking. I pulled them out and I took one of the smaller ones, cut it in half just to see if it wasn't still hard from the freezer. And I took a bite of it and it actually tastes really good. I wouldn't say it tastes like a mozzarella stick. It kinda, I know this is gonna sound a little gross, but it kinda tastes like a breaded cream cheese. But it was still delicious. I'm excited. I think it'll work with this sandwich. The chicken is also heated, so that's going to be the next layer. This sandwich is gonna be so huge. I don't think I'm gonna be able to bite into it. All right, I'm gonna throw a couple mozzarella sticks on. Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work. Oh geez. Maybe I'll just do them this way. French fries. Just gonna put these here. Find a way to stack them. Yeah, this is gonna fall apart as soon as I bite into it, but whatever. It's like French fry Jenga. Yeah, how am I gonna flip this over and make this into a sandwich? Oh no, it's sliding apart. Oh geez, okay. It's looking a little ridiculous. I think I'm gonna take a chicken tender out because you really don't need this one. I think that's a lot better. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can slice it and plate it without it totally falling apart. That actually worked pretty well. All right, I have to tie my hair back for this. Here we go. Okay, first impressions. It's not bad. It's not terrible. The original fat sandwich with all the gluten and all the dairy is 100% better. The bread, I think, is the worst part. It's just literally so dense. There's no compression to it. It's just a rock. Chicken is delicious. Sauce, of course, is good. I really don't taste any French fries. And the mozzarella sticks aren't bad. They taste different, like I said, but yeah, I don't mind it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to eat this whole thing in one sitting. I might have to split it into 2 different meals. But yeah, this was really fun to make. It's something different. It definitely took so long. Like, I don't know if it was worth it to at least make this one time and see how it comes out, but if I'm ever doing this again, I'm gonna buy the chicken, I'm gonna buy the bread, and buy the French fries, buy the sauce, and just make the mozzarella sticks. Thanks to anyone who decided to watch this video. I hope it was entertaining. If you have never heard of a fat sandwich, now you know what it is, and maybe you'd be inspired to make your own or go pick one up. If you want to see more videos I put out in the future, go ahead and subscribe. And other than that, have a great day, and I'm gonna eat lunch. Bye.